I am reading way too many books this month. Hello book dragons, it's Alyssa and you're watching Pages in Ink. No, I am not resting my elbows on a table. I am resting my elbows on my March TBR. So since there are a lot of books on this list, I am gonna go ahead and get started. As always, I go from the books that I'm currently reading and then I'll just go from there. So for my current reads, I am only reading one book. I'm about 25 pages in and I stupidly put it in the dust jacket and put it in the sleeve, so I might have just messed up the dust jacket. But that is Enchantée by Guida Trellis. Enchantée takes place in 1789 in Paris, France. For those of you who don't know, that is when the French Revolution starts. I don't know how that's going to play into this book because again, I'm only 25 pages in, or the series. I don't know how many books there are going to be, if there's only one or more. So I'm not sure how that historical event plays a part in this book. I just know that it follows a main character named Camille. Her parents died from smallpox and they left her, her younger sister, and her older brother. She can turn metal into coins using a form of like dark magic, but the coins only hold their shape for so long before they turn back into scraps of metal, and she is just trying to get by. At some point, she is able to transform and ends up in the Palace of Versailles. So we'll see. I am enjoying what I'm reading so far. I've mentioned before that I am in a book club with some of my friends and Megan, and so for the month of March we are reading Crown of Feathers by Nikki Pal-Preto. So this book focuses on like phoenix riders instead of dragon riders. There's the theme of sister relationships throughout the story. There was a major war between two sisters that kind of tore the kingdom apart in the past, and in the present the main character gets betrayed by her sister. She wants to bring back the Phoenix Riders, but they've found out that the Phoenix Riders are trying to come back and they're trying to stop her. So it's definitely young adult fantasy. I love family dynamics in books, especially sister dynamics, and I think it's really cool to have Phoenix Riders instead of dragon riders. So I will let you know what I think at the end of this. I'll probably do a review and have Megan be in it too because she has to read it as well. So I'm going to Emerald City Comic Con, that's the Seattle Comic Con, in March, so this month, in actually less than 2 weeks. And there are some literary guests that are going to be there and I want to get to their work because I want to meet them, and I think it would be weird to meet them and not have read anything that they've written. One of the authors that is going to be at Comic-Con is Robin Hobb. So I'm going to be reading The Assassin's Apprentice. It's the first book in the Farseer trilogy. I have heard nothing but amazing things about Robin Hobb and her writing. I don't know anything about this book. I try not to listen to super in-depth reviews. I just listen to everyone being obsessed with her. I want to get to this sometime in the next 2 weeks and finish it and meet Robin Hobb and let you guys know all about it. I did include a graphic novel on this list because I'm reading a lot of thick books and I wanted something to kind of give me a break, but I haven't even really started reading all of the adult fantasy and the thick books, and I already read the graphic novel and the second volume. But that is Fence by C.S. Pacat, Joanna the Mad, and Joanna Lafuente. This story follows Nicholas, who is the illegitimate son of a fencing champion, and he wants to follow in his father's footsteps. He's got natural talent, but he comes from a very poor background. He does get a scholarship to this high school that specializes in fencing. However, in order to keep that scholarship, he has to make it on the varsity team where there are only 3 slots. This is complicated when he meets his new roommate, who is ranked number 2 in the world and is kind of a jerk. I heard that this is a very slow burning romance and it's so cute and I love it. And I read this in one sitting and then I read volume 2 and now I need volume 3 to come out right now. Please. So spoilers for my February wrap up, I read The Mark of Athena by Rick Riordan, and I'm going to continue on with the series by reading The House of Hades by Rick Riordan. This is the 4th book in the Heroes of Olympus series, which is the companion series to the Percy Jackson one. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to give any spoilers to people who are interested in reading this series. So I really want to finish the series, so I am going to get to that this month. I really want to get to Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I don't know anything about this story other than people have been comparing the elemental magic to Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I've also heard that the romance in this book is a little bleh, so we'll see what I think. So the last 3 books on this list are ones that Megan actually picked out for me. I was gonna have her be in this video to share her TBR for February, but she is sick in bed. So the first one that she picked out for me is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Oh, let's try not to blind you. I haven't read anything by Laini Taylor. I know that this is a polarizing book. Either you're obsessed with it or you hate it. It's very lyrical in its writing. All I know about this book is that it follows a main character named Laszlo Strange, who is a librarian, maybe? I think that there's gods involved and kind of like a lost city. I want to see what all the buzz is about. I'm tired of not knowing what everyone's talking about when they go on and on about Strange the Dreamer. Megan also picked out A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Buckman for me. So if you guys don't know, My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry is one of my favorite books I've ever read. I love his writing style. I love his books. I haven't read this one. It follows a man who is kind of like the old grouchy, grouchy and grumpy. He is grunchy. Old curmudgeon-y man in this small town. But then these new neighbors move in and they're young and they have kids and their messy world kind of collides with his. It just seems like a heartwarming, loving story where maybe he's not as grumpy or bitter as everyone thinks. The last book that Megan picked out for me is a behemoth of a book. And that is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Yeah, she thick. So on the dust jacket it says, a world divided, a queendom without an heir, an ancient enemy awakens. I do know that this is a standalone fantasy story, but that's not to say that there's not going to be more books in this world. This is just it for this story. So she is at least 800 pages and I'm excited to get to it. So those are the books that I am planning on reading in the month of March. I do have some others that I have in case I finish these. I don't plan on getting through all of them. As you can see, most of them were very thick and had a lot to offer. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to join the Book Dragon family, we would absolutely love to have you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And don't forget to hit that notification bell, which lets you know when I upload videos. And as always, until next time, remember to be nice to yourself and be kind to others. Bye!